All right. Here we go. Good vibes. Listen. Look what I got on my second screen. Watch. Share screen. Boom. Look how techie I am. Boom. Share screen. Oh, you're seeing that. We got the fireplace going. Okay. Everything's all good. Stop share. Good vibes. We got good music playing. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted on YouTube. I have made a YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. Got candle going. It's all relaxed. Okay. I'm working some OT for you. Okay, I'm done with this music. Bye-bye. Deep Space Disco. That's the name of that song. Deep Space Disco. Not regular space disco. Deep Space Disco. Okay, here's the deal. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the Chapter 3 DeltaMath review guide with you guys. Okay, and I'm putting a little bit of OT right now. It is 4:44. I do not have to do this. Okay, I want to. I think it'll help you guys. I really do. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me because this is going to be a one-take thing. Okay, so here's my thought process when I'm going to do this. Okay, so let's pull up. I guess I can keep it. I'm going to go through your DeltaMath review guide like I am you guys. Okay, so I'm going to take the teacher voice off, right? I'm going to take the teacher voice off, and I'm trying. There's my dog back there if you're trying to wonder what's back there. Callie, what you doing? Look at her. Chewing a bone. Dogs chew bones. See this bone? Bye. Okay, so I'm going to go through it like I'm your guys, right? So I'm going to go through it kind of with open eyes, open thoughts. I'm not going to act like I know every answer because I don't really. I haven't gone through every single DeltaMath problem you guys are going to get. It generates randomly. Okay, all the problems are different. Okay, so I'm going to talk you guys through my thought process. This might be a 40-minute video. It might be a 20-minute video. I have no idea. Okay, it's going to be a one-take video. If I make a mistake, Callie, go away. Okay, ready? See bone? Go get bone. Okay. So it's going to be a one-take thing. So if I mess up, don't bury me. Okay, I just want to, hopefully this helps you guys in preparation for your test. Remember, our test is going to open Monday at 8 a.m. Okay, Monday at 8 a.m. Set your calendars, set your alarms. Okay, and then it's going to close 11:59 on Tuesday. Are we going to wait till 11 o'clock on Tuesday? Don't lie to me. Okay, the answer is no, nada, never. I would never, Mr. Sandiford. Don't lie to me. I know you would. Okay, don't do it though. So I'm not going to be a head camper when I get text messages, emails, when I'm supposed to be on Thanksgiving break. And it's Tuesday at, well, probably, you guys are probably going to wait till like 12 o'clock Tuesday night. Don't do it, please. There's your warning. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. I got a OneNote open so I can show you guys the work I'm going to be doing on the problems that need work. I'm going to share my screen starting. Let's go to Google Chrome. Boom, starting now, right? So you should be able to see my screen. If you don't, I really hope you do because I don't want to go through a 40-minute video. Okay, so Chapter 3 review. It's going to be a lot like a test, right? The same type of questions. I might leave some stuff out, and I'll tell you which ones I'll leave out. Just as far as your guys struggling on them, I can see what problems you struggle with, what concepts you struggle with. Hopefully this alleviates some of the problems that we're having, okay? All right, here we go. So first thing is solving quadratics by graphing. We should all know this, right? Okay. Okay. So I was going to take my teacher voice off. All right. So the solution to quadratic equations are the graphs x-intercepts. I think I just stumbled a million times there. It's all right. Let's see if we got it right. X-intercepts. Yes. Remember. Okay. Solutions. X-intercepts. Where it crosses the x-axis. That's what intercept means. Okay. That's done. Look how quick that goes. Okay. Parabola features. Yeah, that's what it's called. Using the graph to determine the coordinates of the x-intercepts of the parabola. Cool. All right, so we got to look where it crosses the x-axis. All right, so we know it's going to cross twice, so it's going to be 2 points. Okay, my first point looks like it's -6. I'm only going to do one type of problem from each of these, by the way, unless it's really something you guys are going to struggle on, like completing the square or something like that, or discriminant maybe. Okay, so it's -6, 0 and -4, 0. That's where it crosses the x-axis. Boom. See if we enter. Hey, did I get it right? Oh, you guys are gonna roast me if I get one wrong. That's okay though. All right, so that's one down. Parabola features, x-intercepts. All you gotta do is label. Coolio. All right, solving quadratics with the square roots. All right, we can do this. Okay, now let me see if this will work. So I want to stop. I want a new share. I want a new share my connect. Boom. Oh, no. Yeah, I think so. New share. Let's stop share. Screen share. Connect. Yay, there we go. Okay, so my problem is, hopefully you guys can see this, please. 3 times the quantity x squared minus 4 plus 7 equals -2. All right, so I want to solve this quadratic by using square roots. Okay, no big deal, right? So first things first, you're going to do one of two things. Okay, I'm going to distribute this 3 into the parentheses first. Okay, so if I distribute that 3, I get 3x squared minus 12. Oh, no, you can't see that, can you? Hopefully you can see that. Let me make sure. Let me disconnect. Okay, and then let's reconnect. That's what I'm talking about. This might take 10 years. Let's reconnect. Right there. Right there. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, so 3x squared minus 12, bring down that 7, plus 7 equals -2. You guys all know I'm great with technology, right? Told you, one take. I'm not redoing it. Might be a 40-minute video because I'm going to mess up so many times, but that is okay. Perseverance, my friends. All right, so next thing we're going to do, combine like terms, right? So -12 plus 7. What's -12 plus 7? This is where you guys answer. Now I actually have to do math. Okay, so it's -5 equals -2. That's the hardest thing about Zooming and recording lessons is I actually have to do like the basic math. Usually I ask you guys, and that's kind of like the teacher cheating way. I don't actually have to do it, but I guess now I do. Hopefully I don't screw up. Okay, so we add 5 to both sides. Okay, we get 3x squared equals what? What's -2 plus 5 is going to be 3. Okay, so now I divide by 3 both sides. We get x squared equals 1. Square root both sides. This is the step, right? This is the step where we're actually solving by using square roots. The reason why I want to square root both sides is because I want to get rid of this 2, the squared. You got to do the opposite of it, which is square root. All right, so we get x equals plus or minus 1, right? Because the square root of 1 is plus or minus 1, not just positive 1. Okay, so I hit my little plus or minus button. Let me go back to my stop share. Let me go to screen share. Let's go back to DeltaMath. All right, here we go. All right, so we get plus or minus 1. Submit answer. Hey, got it right. All right, green check mark, so satisfying. All right, so that's how you do those type of problems. I'm only going to do one of those because they're all pretty much the same. You got to isolate whatever's being squared, whether it's a quantity squared or just an x squared, and you take the square root to get rid of the squared on the top. Okay. All right, next section, identifying quadratic / linear system solutions. Okay, this one you guys kind of struggle on sometimes. Here's the whole process of this. So we want to identify the solution. So between the 2 lines or graphs. So really, I'm just looking for where they cross. Okay, so really, if I'm reading left to right, this one's going to be first. So it's going to be -4, 6. And it's going to be what? 0, -2. Bada bing, bada bam, blam blam. We're the best. Okay. All right, that's how you do those. All you do is look for where they cross. It's very, very simple. Okay, finding coefficients of polynomials. It's a little bit different, right? So first things first, we want to put this in standard form. So that is not standard form. Okay, so let me stop, screen share, go back to connect. Okay, hopefully it moves around. It does. We're in business. Okay, so we get this. We have -9 plus x squared. And I had a lot of kids Zoom me today about this problem. Okay, I want you to look for your A coefficient, your B coefficient, your C coefficient. Remember what coefficient means. It's a number in front of the variable, or it's a constant, right? So I want to put this in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember, that's standard form. Okay? So let's put this equation into that form. All right, so I know my x squared is first. So I have x squared over 9, which is really 1/9 times x squared, right? Plus 5x minus, no wait, 9. Okay, so if I go back to my screen here, if I go back to my DeltaMath, share screen, DeltaMath, boom. I'm getting quicker at that. Cool. All right, it's going to be 1/9 is my a value. That's the number in front of the x squared. 1 divided by 9. There we go. Okay, we get 5 for my x, and my constant is going to be -9. Now, do we have to put it in standard form to realize that? No. I mean, you could leave it in that form. You could say, okay, a is going to be the number always in front of my x squared. So do I really need to put it in standard form? Not so much, right? It helps me. Remember, if I do it, you guys should probably do it too. All right, next thing, quadratic equation. Okay, the solution to a quadratic equation can be called, all right. That's kind of a trick question here. Usually when you see all of the above, it's usually the answer. ACT, SAT prep, okay? Just because, right, the solutions of a quadratic equation, that the x-intercepts, right? I told you guys this probably the second day of this chapter. X-intercepts, we could also call that roots. We could call that solutions or zeros, right? Zeros is the one that sounds fancy. That's one I like using. All right, so it's all of the above. Like that type of problem won't be on your test. I'm not going to put that on your test, okay? I'm really just going to stick to basic math problems. Okay, quadratic formula, multiple choice. You are welcome. All right, I gave you guys multiple choice for a reason. So let's go back to OneNote and let's do this problem. Let's go to connect. All right, sweet. Okay, so here is our equation. Let's use orange. I like orange. Okay, we get 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. Okay, first things first. What the heck is the quadratic formula? Remember, it's negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, do you have to remember that? No, it's an online test. You're going to have your notes with you. Okay, so we want to plug in my a, b, and c values. Remember, my a is in front of the x squared, my b is in front of the x, and my c is my constant into the quadratic formula. We can totally do that, right? No big deal. Okay, so let's get started on it. So we get negative 5, negative b, okay, plus or minus the square root of negative 5 squared minus 4 times 6 times negative 4, done, okay? All over 2 times, my a is going to be 6. Now all we got to do is simplify, okay? So I'm going to simplify underneath the square root first. Well, I guess you could simplify the b value. 2 negatives make a positive. You win. Okay, so 5 plus or minus the square root of what? This is going to be 25. And this is going to be 4 times 6 is 24. What's 24 times 4? 96? Let me double check. It's sad that I have to double check this, but I really don't want to tell you guys wrong. So we have negative 4 is 20. Negative 4 times 6 is going to be 24. Times negative 4 is going to be negative 24 times 4. Yeah, so it's 96. So I don't second guess yourself, kids. Okay, so we get 25 minus a 96, positive 96, because there's 2 negatives in there, positive 96 divided by 12. Okay, so we got 25 minus 96 is going to be negative 71. So we have 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 71, okay, all over 12. Okay. Well, hold on. What did I do wrong? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the problem with one takes. This is where you guys would check me, right? What's this got to be? It's got to be a positive, okay? So it's 25 plus 96. And, like, this is why I want to do it this way, because this is the kind of mistakes you guys would make, right? So yeah, I could go through it and have all the answers and have every problem to a T, but I don't think it really helps you guys. Like, yeah, these mistakes are going to be the exact same things you guys are going to do. So what I'm doing, you guys need to check for as well. It's going to help you guys in the long run, I promise. So what's the square root of 121? 11. So we have 5 plus or minus 11 divided by 12. How many equations does that give us, or answers? It's going to give us 2 answers, right? We have 5 plus 11 divided by 12. We have 5 minus 11 divided by 12. Okay, that's going to give me 16 over 12. This is going to give me 5 minus 11 is negative 6. Negative 6 over 12 is going to be negative 1/2. Is that an answer up there? It is. Shocker. And then this is going to be 4/3. So I think this one's going to be your top one. Let's see if we did it right. Okay, start sharing. I'm going to have to do this a million times, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll get through this. Check mark. We did it right. Okay, remember, that's the part where I messed up between the plus and the minus 96. Hey, you're going to do it too. Don't do it, okay? Double check your work and make sure it looks correct. I saw that mine didn't look correct, so I stopped, paused. Okay, got to switch the sign. Okay, do we need to see another one of those? They're all pretty much the same, right? Same process, okay? So I'm going to skip. Let's go to the next section. Okay, finding the quadratic discriminant. This is also multiple choice, okay? So if I go back to my OneNote, let's talk about what a discriminant actually is. So remember, in the quadratic equation, this stuff right here, whatever's underneath the square root, I said is called the discriminant, right? So that b squared minus 4 AC. Okay, this is my discriminant. Call it D. So what I want to do in this problem, for example, we have negative x squared minus 2x minus 9. Okay, so I want to figure out what my discriminant is. We can do that, right? Here's my discriminant values. My A is going to be what? Negative 1. My B is going to be negative 2. My C is going to be negative 9. I have all the variables. Let's just plug it in. Okay. So I get negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1. What I do again? It's b squared. It's not a squared. Okay, it's negative 2 squared. Same thing. I mess up. You guys might too. All right, times 4 times a times c, which c is negative 9. All right, so negative 2 squared is going to be 4. Let's say negative 4 times negative 1 is going to be positive 4. 4 times negative 9 is what? Negative 36. Okay, so it's going to be negative 36. So 4 minus 36 is what? Negative 32? I don't know. Let's see if we did it right. I bet we did. Maybe not, though. Who knows? Okay, negative 32 is what we got for our answer. Submit. Donezo. We did it right. Okay, here's kind of the steps. That's also what I like about DeltaMath. Here's the steps. It kind of shows you. So I know I'm making a whole video for you right now, but if you guys didn't want to watch this, DeltaMath kind of helps you with how to do it. Okay, that's not going to be available on the test. I promise you that. So make sure you have it down. All right, that's discriminant. B squared minus 4ac. It's the stuff underneath that square root in the quadratic equation. Okay, favorite F word. Factoring. What is the very first step in factoring? We set the equation equal to 0. Right? You can't solve any quadratic unless it is set equal to 0. Done. Okay. Next one. What is the second step of factoring? Factor a what could that word be? Monomial. Okay. Factor one term. That's what monomial means. Big math word. Okay. Don't get confused. It's just one term. See if you can factor one thing out to make your life a lot easier. See if I spelled that right. I did. Okay. Trinomials. Factor trinomials with a equals 1. All right. What that means is this number in front of the x squared, it equals 1. These are the easy types of factoring, right? So let's get to it. Let's go to connect. All right. So the problem is, this is probably the thing you guys are gonna have the most trouble with. Probably. I don't know. You guys might rock it. You did in class. Okay, remember, the whole point of factoring is I want to look at the factors of this last C term, right? What factors through a combination of addition, subtraction, can get me to positive 12? All right, remember what I told you guys to do. I told you guys to always start with writing the two sets of parentheses and plugging your X values in for your first slots, okay? That gets your brain going, gets the engine going, get them fired up. All right, so obviously 1 and 36 cannot get me to 12. I mean, 1 plus 36 is 37. 36 minus 1 is going to be 35. That's nowhere close to 12, so we don't want to use that. Okay, you guys are probably all yelling at me. It's 6 and 6, Mr. Sandifer. It is, right? Okay, it's 6 and 6. Okay, the whole equation is positive, so you guys know I have to put my answers into, or I have to put the signs both positive because the whole equation is positive. Okay, if it was like this, if it was like that, where you had a negative on the B term, then you'd have to make it both of these negative. Okay, but it's not, right? It's positive, so both of them are positive. Okay, so let's go back to DeltaMath. Let's plug it in, see what we get. I bet we did it right. Okay, so I had to go open parentheses, x plus 6. That's what we got, right? Yeah. X plus 6 times, open parentheses, x plus 6, close it, submit it. Oh, please, green check mark, pop up. Yep, we did it right. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, this is a harder one, right? So let's go back to OneNote. All right, here's what we got. We got x squared minus 8x plus 16. All right, a little bit different. Same process, though, a little bit different. It's not as easy. Well, I guess it kind of is, right? Because look, what factors of 16 can get me to negative 8? Can 1 and 16 get me there? No. All right, can 2 and 8 get me there? No, 8 minus 2, it's like 1 and 16 can't, right? 2 and 8, 8 plus 2 is 10. That's not negative 8. 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. No, cross. What about 4 and 4? Okay, this is what we just talked about, remember. So I have my X in my first two slots, right? So I know I'm going to have 4 and 4, but hold on, that middle term is negative. So I know I got to make them both negative. Okay. All right. Let's plug it in. Let's move on. So we get x minus 4. I'm going to cheat here. Watch. You guys can do this too. Hopefully it takes it. I'm actually interested to see if it works. What if I do that? Is it going to accept it? Hey, we're smart. I have no idea what they're doing with this. See, this is one of the games I could teach you guys. If you want to learn it, sure, it's right here. Okay, I like you guys thinking better. Okay, fact with trinomials greater than with a, that first term, it's the a value greater than 1. Okay, that's when these get a little bit harder. Okay, so here's your problem. Let's go over to OneNote. Okay, let's get it done. So we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Here we go. Okay, once again, this is not as hard as it could be. It's still hard. I mean, it's factoring, right? Factoring's always been hard. Okay, but this first number, this a, is going to be prime. So there's only 2 factors we could choose from. So remember, this is the step where I told you guys my pet peeve. I always put the bigger factor first. So I have 2 times 1x will give me 2x squared. Okay, so now I can set those off. I can set those up right off the bat. Okay, now I need to look at the factors of 6. I have 1 and 6, 2 and 3. What I need to get to is positive 7. Okay, so remember our FOIL. Our first, outer, inner, last. I need the outer and inner to get me add up or subtract to get to positive 7. Okay, but remember, there's a hint in here. You have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6, right? So you know everything in that whole equation has got to be positive. If it wasn't, 1 would be negative. So it's all positive, so both of our signs have to be positive. That's a hint, okay? All right, so now I need to figure out what factors of 6 I need to use. Should I use 1 and 6? I don't know. If I plug 1 and 6 into here, what does that give me? 2 times 6 is going to be 12, plus 1 is going to be 13. What if I flip them around? 2 times 1 is going to be 2, plus 6 is going to be 8. Nope. We don't want to use that, right? So we know we got to use 2 and 3. And that's how you guys can do it. You guys can see it right off the bat, or you can guess and check. Either way. All right, so we want to use 2 and 3, but which one goes in which slot? Should I put the 2 in this slot and the 3 in this slot? Let's see, right? So 2 times 3 is going to be 6, plus 2, that's going to give me 7. Probably not what I want to do, right? Can't get me there. I need to get to 7. So we can do 2 times 2 and put the 3 there. So 2x times 2 is going to be what? 4x plus 3x gives me what? 7x. Okay. Notice there's no rhyme or reason here. You have to think and you have to guess and check. There's a thought process involved. If you don't want to think, you can guess and check, but it's going to take more time, right? These are the ones I'm worried about. I'm really worried about factoring on tests. Okay, so my answer, remember, my answer is going to be what the actual broken down factored form. So here we go. Let's plug it in and see if we did it right. Okay, so our factored form, remember, was 2x plus 3 times x plus 2. Did we do it correctly? Sweet, we did. Okay, do we want to see another one? Should I? Probably, right? Don't be lazy. Let's do another one. Okay, so next one, we get 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. Okay, here we go. 3x squared. My fiance is going to walk in. Who are you talking to? Sorry. Okay, 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. Now we got a factor. Once again, these are kind of easy. Easier. Why is it easy? Because this a term is going to be prime. Only has one set of factors. So once again, draw your parentheses. My pet peeve, the bigger factor goes first. The smaller one goes second. Okay. Now, we need to look at the factors of 8. What are the factors of 8? Well, they're 1 and 8, and then also 2 and 4. I have to get to 10. Okay? So, let's put, once again, here, hint. Positive, positive. You know they're both going to be positive. It's a hint. Okay? You got to take those cheap shots when you can get them. All right, so you know that they're both going to be positive. So should I use 1 and 8? I don't know. Let's think about it this time instead of using guess and check. I could use 1 and 8. We could have, what do we got to get to? 10. We'd have 3 times 8. Put 8 right here. What is that? 24 plus 1. No, it's not going to give me the 10. Okay, I could put 8 here. Put 1 here. 3 plus 8 is going to be 11. No, that's not what I want. Okay, so cross this one out. What about 2 and 4? Okay. I bet we can use 2 and 4, right? How do we know that? It's only other 2 factors. So which one goes where? So let's put the 4. Let's think about it. If I put the 4 here, what's 4 plus 2? 4 times 3 is going to be 12 plus 2 is going to be, no, that's bigger than 10, right? What if I put the 4 right here? Let's see. Okay, we have 3x times 2 is going to give me 6x. Plus 4x is going to give me what I want, 10x. Okay, so there's a thought process there instead of just guessing and checking. Does that other way work? Sure. But is it going to take you longer? Yeah. Are you going to want to bang your head against the wall? Yeah. Okay, so just practice these. That's the only way we get good at it. So we get 3x plus 4 times x plus 2. You guys got to let me know if you like this. If you guys don't like this way, then that's fine. But I feel like this will help you guys. If it doesn't, let me know so I don't have to waste my time and do it. Okay. I'm just trying to do everything I can. Okay, so we did factor trinomials, both set. Okay, quadratic equation in standard form. Write the quadratic equation in standard form. Can we all do that? We know how to do that. I'm going to skip that. You add the 5x squared over. You combine like terms. So 5x squared negative 4x squared plus 5x squared is going to give me 1x squared. Ax squared plus x plus c, right? So minus 15. Let's see if we did it right. Oh, whoa, easy now. Let's see what we did. Write the quadratic equation in standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Hold on now. X squared plus x minus 15. Oh, are you kidding me? Is this it? Oh, Jesus. I was like, there's no way I got that one wrong. Out of all the ones we did and I get that one wrong, no way. Yeah, don't forget the equal 0. Gotta have the equal 0. Okay? Let's keep moving. Solve by trinomial factoring. I'm assuming that's what it's asking for. Okay? Okay, so we want to solve it by factoring. So we want to do the same thing we just did before, but now we're going to use that zero product property. Okay, zero product property. Remember, you guys got to remember this kind of stuff. It is when, let me switch over to 1 now. It's when we set both the all the way broken down factors equal to 0, and then we solve for x. For both of them, right? We get 2 answers. All right, so here's what we want to do. We have, let's go ahead and move that 7x over. All right, so we have x squared plus 10x minus 28 equals 7x. I know I got to set them equal to 0. Subtract the 7x, combine like terms, we get x squared plus 3x minus 28 equals 0. Okay, now I can factor, right? So let's look. What are the factors of 28 that can get me to positive 3? Okay, set up your parentheses. There we go. We have x here, x here. What are the factors of 28? What's the point of writing 1 and 28? Can I write 1 and 28? Sure. Okay, is it going to get me to positive 3? No, skip it. Okay, what about 4 and 7? Okay, now 4 and 7 can get me to. Can 2 and 12 or 2 and 14? No. Okay, so once again, it's a thought process. It goes a lot quicker. Now look, this one's a little bit different, a little bit harder. We have a negative c term, a negative c coefficient, right? So that tells me right off the bat, one's got to be negative, one's got to be positive. That's the only way I get a negative on the end. All right, so if I know I'm trying to get to positive 3, do I really want my 7 to be negative? I don't, right? I want my 7 to be positive because it's the bigger of the two. And I want my 4 to be negative. That way when we FOIL, we get to positive 3x. All right, here comes the zero product property. Here's what we want to do. We want to set both these factors equal to 0, and we want to solve for x. So I have x plus 7 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. Solve for x on both of them. We get x equals negative 7, and we get x equals positive 4. There we go. Okay. So you would put x equal, ooh, I don't know how it's wanting me to put these answers in. Hold on, let me do this. This is why I'm doing this too. No, that's not it. Okay, let's do this. X equals, let's see how it wants it. And this is part of the reason I'm doing that. I want to see x equals negative 7. Okay, let's see if it accepts that. Just type 7, so just 7. All right, so what if I do this? Do negative 7. I do 4. All right, that's how I want it. Cool. So put a comma in between it. So it's negative 7, comma 4. Don't put x equals. And that's part of the reason I'm doing this, okay? I want to get this out of the way before we get to our test. You guys are like, oh, it didn't accept my answer. Well, that's how you do it, okay? All right, I don't think we need to see another one of those. That's pretty straightforward. Follow the same process, set both factors equal to 0, and solve. Okay, let's do a little bit more of a harder one here, okay? Uh-oh, you guys didn't see any of that. All right, I guess we got to do another one. I got a screen share. Told you, not easy. Okay, let's do another one of these. Actually, we can skip that. I can show you the same thing by doing this. All right, so this one's a little bit harder. Why is it harder? It's because this A value is not 1. Okay, so let's go over to the OneNote. Maybe this time I won't forget to change because I want to show you how the solution is. The solution is kind of weird how you put it in. All right, so we have 5x squared plus 22x plus 2 equals minus 6. All right, negative 6. I want to add 6 over because I want this equal to 0. I get 5x squared plus 22x plus 8 equals 0. Now we're good to go, right? Okay, let me erase this so I can show you the factors. Remember, start with using your parentheses, drawing them. 5 is prime, so we know we're only going to have 2 factors there. We have 1 and 5. Put the 5 first because it's my pet peeve. Okay, and now we have the factors of 8. So we have 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Okay, through a combination of addition and subtraction, I need to get to positive 22, right? Through this FOIL method where we're just worried about the O and I. The outer and the inner need to add up to positive 22. Once again, here's a hint. Flash, flash, flash. Listen, all these are positive. Okay, the whole equation's positive, so you know you're going to have 2 positive signs. It's a freebie. Take it when you can. All right, so is 1 and 8 going to get me there? I don't know. Let's look. Let's think. Okay, use the thought process here. So if I put 8, no, it's not, right? What's 5 times 8? 40? No, we don't want to do that. If I put 8 in the inside one, so we have 5 times 1 would be 5. No, it's going to be 13. Okay, 1 and 8 are going to be crossed off. Okay, what about 2 and 4? 2 and 4 have to work, right? It's only 2 other factors left. So what if I put 4 here and 2 here? When I FOIL, outer, it's going to give me 20x. Inner is going to give me 2x. That's going to get me to 22. Okay, that's what I want. So those are my factors. Now, here comes the zero product property again. We set both these factors equal to 0, and we solve for x. So we get 5x plus 2 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0, subtract 4, x equals negative 4, subtract 2, 5x equals negative 2, divide by 5, x equals negative 2 fifths. Okay, that should be child's play by now. It's just basic algebra. You guys have done it all chapter. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. So I'll remember this time to do it. Okay, putting these in are a little funky. So screen share. Let's go to DeltaMath. Boom, there we go. All right, so here's what I want to do. So our answers are negative 2 fifths, comma, put a comma in between, comma, negative 4. That's not an ordered pair. Remember, those are brackets. That's not an ordered pair. Don't think you're doing it wrong. See if we did it right. We did, right? Remember, that is how you put it in. Don't mess that up. Okay? All right. So that's done. See, we're almost done with this thing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 problems left. Okay, simplifying radicals with negative radicands. Remember, radican is a fancy... Radican sounds like a Pokemon. Let's be real. Okay? It is a term for whatever is underneath the square root. It's called a radicand. Radical is the physical square root. Radicand is what's actually being square rooted. Is that a word? I have no idea. Okay? So we have square root of negative 18. I told you guys we're going to need to do this. Okay? We got to learn this at some point. All right, listen. We have square root of negative 18. Okay, remember, I can pull out, since it is illegal, throw you in math jail. You cannot take the square root of a negative number. You need to pull out an I. So we're left with the square root of 18 times I. Okay, we just went over that stuff. Okay, if I want to simplify the square root of 18, I need to look at the factors of 18. What is the biggest, greatest, okay, perfect square that you can pull out of 18? Easy one, right? Do we want to use 3 and 4? No, right? Because there's a bigger one. 9 times 2. Okay, now what can you pull out of 9? Well, you can pull out of 3. Square root of 9 is 3. So we have 3, put the I in the middle, divided by, or the square root of, sorry, 2. Okay, so we have 3I, square root, use the square root button. Uh-oh, let me stop. Let me switch it over to DeltaMath. Oh, I've probably said this a million times. 3I, square root 2. Okay. All right, I'm only going to do one of those. That's how you do them. Pull out an I. Okay, then you just simplify it like a normal square root. Just tag the I along. All right. Okay, so we want to add and subtract complex numbers. Guys, this is very, very easy. So easy. Listen, I'm not going to show you on OneNote. Okay, all we want to do is put the real numbers together. Remember, complex means you have a real number and you have an imaginary number. How do you know it's imaginary? Because it has an I attached to it. Tough stuff. All right, we have 4 plus negative 12. What's 4 plus negative 12? Negative 8. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. Okay, and then what do the i's turn into? We have 2I plus a negative 2I. They're going to cancel, go bye-bye. So I'm going to just take a wild guess. My answer is going to be negative 8. Watch, I'll show you how easy these are. I'll do another one. Okay, we have, okay. All right, I got to show you this one. I don't want you guys to screw this up. Common mistake coming up here, coming in hot. We have this. We have 7I, or 7 minus 2I in parentheses, minus negative 11 plus 6I in parentheses. Okay, what do I always say? When you have a negative in front of parentheses, we're always going to distribute it first, and then we rewrite it. So we have 7 minus 2I. 2 negatives make a positive. Positive, okay? Positive 11 minus 6I. Combined like terms, 7 plus 11 is going to be 18. Negative 2I minus 6I is going to be negative 8I. Done. Okay? 18. Let's see if we can write it the other way around. We'll see if we can write it in not standard form. Will they accept that? Not standard form is putting the imaginary number first, if you guys didn't know that. Okay, let's see if we can put the imaginary number first, and then it will still accept it. Yep, it does. Cool. All right. That is debunked. All right, so that's done. Okay, that's adding and subtracting. Those are very easy. Okay, where we get a little weird. We get a little weird when we get into complex numbers as far as multiplication, right? Okay. So remember, when I have a quantity squared, just rewrite it 2 times. Rewrite it like this. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now I want to FOIL this. First, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. Okay, so negative 10 times negative 10 is what? 100. Then we have the first, outer, negative 10i. Inner is going to give me negative 10i. And last is going to give me plus I squared. All right. Here's where the newer stuff comes in. You guys just learned this. So we just learned what I squared is, right? What's I squared? Pause, pause, pause. Negative 1. Yep, negative 1. Good. Okay, so it's going to be negative 1. So why do we know I squared is negative 1? All right, so listen. I squared is negative 1 because what really is I? Say I have this. Okay, we just did it, right? If I want to simplify this, what do we do first? We took out the I, and now it becomes square root of 10 times I. Well, what is I? Here we go. Okay, we need to know this. Remember, know the concepts, and math will become so much easier for you. This is sidebar right now. So we have negative 1 times the square root of 10, right? But this is what we were left with when we took the I out. So what do you think this is? This right here is I. Okay, the square root of negative 1 is always I. So if we square I, what happens when you have a square root squared? It cancels, and it equals negative 1. Okay? If that makes sense, great. If you just want to remember I squared equals negative 1, that's okay too. All right, still going to get you the same grade on the test. All right, so we know I squared is going to be negative 1. So let's combine like terms in the middle here. So minus 10, or minus 20i, sorry, plus a negative 1, which is minus 1. So we get 100 minus 1 is going to give me 99 minus 20i. Okay, let's see if we did it right. 99 minus 20i. Let me switch over so you guys can see if I failed or not. Did we do it right? Pausing. Why isn't it going? Go! Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Oh, this gave me a new problem. You son of a gun. All right, here we go. I'll show you guys another one. Hopefully that was right. I think it was right. Bet it was. Let's do another one, though, because it's making me. All right, so here we go. So remember, write the same thing twice. We have -2 plus 3i times the same thing, -2 plus 3i. All right, FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. We get first is going to give me what? +4. Outer is going to give me -6i. Inner is going to give me -6i. Last is going to give me +9i squared. Okay? What does I squared equal? We just talked about it, right? I squared equals -1. So let's rewrite, combine like terms, and put the -1 in for I squared. Okay? So this is going to be what? 4 minus 12i minus 9. What's 4 minus 9? -5. So -5 minus 12i. Okay? So if we did it right, let's go back. Will you please let me submit it, or are you going to make me do another one? -5 minus 12i. Let me submit. Yay! We did it right. Okay? Remember, I squared equals -1. That's the main thing to take away from there. The rest is just foiling and combining like terms. You guys have done that since, what, freshman year, sophomore year? Okay, we got 3 left. Here we go. Find and complete the square constant. I'm going to skip that one. Okay, I'll talk about it in completing the square. Oh. See, I'm not going to give you one like this on the test. I'm just going to ask you to complete the square. So let's go back. Let's just get to complete the square. All right, so here we go. Here's your problem. I'm going to switch to OneNote. Hopefully this video is under 40 minutes. Feels like I've been talking forever. I don't even like listening to myself talk this much. Shocker, I know. All right, here we go. So we want to find, which creates the same solution as, okay, so we want to complete the square. So we're not solving, we're just completing the square. That's fine. So we want to turn it into the square of a binomial, which is something that looks like this, right? And then we have equals a number. That's completing the square. Okay, so here we go. Here's how we do that. It's a very specific process. So the problem is, okay, let me get this out of here because it's bugging my OCD. Okay, here's our quadratic equation. X squared plus 16x plus 11 equals 6. All right, here's what I want to do. In order to complete the square, I need to get rid of this constant value right here. I need to move it over to the right side. That's the first step. All I want to have on the left side is just my x's. So I subtract 11, subtract 11. I get x squared plus 16x equals -5. Okay? So now I can complete the square, and this is the really specific part I'm talking about. Remember, we have to add this thing called c, this constant, to complete the square and turn it into a perfect trinomial, big math word, I know, into a square of a binomial. Okay, big math words, follow the process. So I need to add this c to both sides. Why can't I just add it to one side? I'm asking you, why can't I? Because it's going to throw off the whole equal sign, right? I have to do it to both. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. It's the whole properties of the equal sign, right? Okay, I can't. Okay, for example, I can't have an, I know this is a weird concept for you guys. I can't have an orange equals an apple and add, I don't know, an acorn to the orange and just say that's equal to an apple. No, it equals the apple plus an acorn equals an orange plus an acorn. I have no idea if that makes sense. I don't know why I came with orange apples and acorns. It's 5:30 at night. I am tired. It's almost football time, though. All right, so what does this see? We need to add this c to both sides. How do we figure out what the c is? Well, it's super specific. It's b divided by 2 squared. That's a specific formula for it. All right, do we know our b value? Yeah, we do. It's positive 16. So c equals 16 divided by 2 squared. C equals 8 squared. And c is going to equal 64. Okay, so let's rewrite our equation. We have x squared plus 16x. Let's plug in the c value. Plus 64 equals negative 5 plus 64. All right, negative 5 plus 64 is going to be, what is it going to be, 59? I'm assuming so, in the multiple choice. Hint, hint, these multiple choice are awesome, okay? So now I want to factor this to get it to a perfect, well, this is a perfect trinomial already, okay? We need to get it to a square of a binomial, which is a big word. It's this thing, square of a binomial. That's what it's called. Binomial is 2 squared. All right, so how do I know what goes in here? I know I'm going to have 1x, right? But remember, I don't know if you guys paid attention when I taught this or not, but this 8 will always, this b divided by 2 will always be the thing that goes in your square of a binomial, your binomial squared. There we go. All right. So that's the process. You follow the same process every single time. If that was a negative 8, we'd throw a negative 8 in there. Okay, it's no different. I'll do another one of these. So let's stop the share. Let's go to DeltaMath, see if we did it correctly. What do we get? X plus 8 equals 59. Let's see. All right, we did it right. Next one. Let's do another one. Show example. I don't know what this is going to turn into. See, I want to do another one, but do I have to do this one? All right, let's just do it real quick. So we got to add 6 over to both sides. We got to add, no, just one side. Add 6 over. We get 9. What's going to be your b? B divides 9 plus 64. It's going to be 73. It's going to be plus 8 equals 73. Give me another one. Thanks. Yeah, child's play. Bye-bye. All right, so here we go. Now we don't have to deal with 8. I don't want the same one every time. So stop the share. Let's go to OneNote. All right, let's knock this one out. It's going to be the last one I do, completing the square. So we get x squared plus 4x plus 13 equals negative 10. Okay, remember, first thing 4x here. Sorry. First thing, I got to get rid of that c value. How do I get rid of that c value? I got to move it over, or the constant. Okay, we'll figure out what the c value is. Subtract 13 to both sides. We get x squared. It's too thin. X squared plus 4x equals negative 23. Okay, now here's the process. Here's where it comes into play. I got to add that c, that imaginary c, to both sides. Okay, because I need to get this left side into a perfect trinomial in order to get it to a binomial squared. That's the whole point. I need to get it to something that looks like this. All right, so how do I find c? B divided by 2 squared. Same process every time. Okay, and here's the deal. That b divided by 2 is what goes in that second slot. Okay, so let's figure out what goes in there. So my b is going to be 4. So I have c equals 4 divided by 2 squared. C equals 2 squared. C equals 4. All right. So I got to add 4 to both sides. Okay. So I got an x squared. So I get rid of that plus c. Plus c. It's turned into a 4. Okay. So I get, what do I get on the right side? What's my number? Negative 23 plus 4 was going to be negative what? 19. Okay. And then what goes in for this second term in my binomial squared? Well, I told you, right? It's going to be this. It's going to be this b divided by 2 is whatever goes in my second slot here. So it's a positive 2. So I'm going to put a positive 2 in for that second slot. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to make completing the square as simple as possible and as step-by-step as possible. Follow this process and you will totally get every one of these correct. This might be the hardest as far as math that we're going to do. Factoring is hard, but factoring is really just thinking. This is the hardest math we're going to do. Okay, so my answer is positive 2, x plus 2 squared equals negative 19. We have a binomial. Squared equals a number that is completing the square. That's the whole point of it. Let's see if we did it right. X plus 2 squared equals negative 19, and voila. Cool. All right, that's completing the square. Rational only. Oh, okay. Now we got to solve. This is the hardest thing. This right here will be the hardest thing we do. Pay attention. Okay, so we want to solve. How do we know we're going to solve? Because we have an equal sign here, right? And it tells me in the problem. It just doesn't say just complete the square like the last one did. It says solve the equation. So here we go. Take a deep breath. Do I need to show you guys the fire screen again? Probably not. Let's go to OneNote. We're almost there. We're almost there. All right, so we give x squared plus 8x plus 15 equals 0. Okay, so here we go. We want to complete the square just like we did before. So first things first, I need to get rid of this plus 15. I need to move it over to the right side. So we're going to get x squared plus 8x equals negative 15. Okay. All right, second step, I need to figure out what the c value is. Okay, so remember, c equals b divided by 2 squared. Okay. So here's what we want to do. C equals 8 divided by 2, because that's my b, right? 8 divided by 2 squared. 4 squared. 16. Okay. So I know what this plus c, this negative 15 plus c turns into plus 16. Okay. And this plus c turns into plus 16. Now we have a perfect trinomial, so we can turn it into a binomial squared. Okay, what's the number it's going to be equal to? Well, we can solve for that, right? Negative 15 plus 16 is going to be 1. Hard one there. Okay, remember what goes in my second spot here, right here. It's going to be your b divided by 2, which in this case is positive 4. All right, so we completed the square. Yay! We're not done. Shocker. Okay, we need to solve using square roots. Right? Now, remember, all I have to do here is take the square root of both sides. Okay, what's that going to do? It's going to get rid of the squared because it's the opposite operation of it. And we're left with x plus 4, break it out, equals plus or minus the square root of 1. Okay, so we want to subtract 4 over, we get our solution. X equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 1. What's the square root of 1? Come on, it's the easiest one. 1. Okay, so how many answers am I going to get? Well, let me see if we can type this out. Hold on. Watch this. I'm going to be lazy here. Work smart, not hard. Let's see if we can type this in like this. Watch. Negative 4 plus or minus. Remember, we get 2 answers here. 1. Oh! Find your mistake. Oh, no. Am I going to mess up on this one? What if we do this? Let's type it in as negative 4 plus 1 is going to be negative 3, comma, negative 4 minus 1 is going to be negative 5. Submit answer. See if it accepts that. Oh, so we couldn't be lazy. Darn. Okay. All right, so you actually have to physically solve it, right? You get 2 answers. You get negative 4 plus or minus 1. So you do negative 4 plus 1. It's going to give me negative 3. Negative 4 minus 1 is going to give me negative 5. All right. Man. Should we do another one? Probably, right? You guys are probably like, what in the world? When did he teach us this? Well, I taught it in the video. Did you watch the video? Okay. So stop share. Actually, no, I want to keep it there. And let's get another one. Let's get a next problem. Is this the last section? It is. Whew. All right. So here we go. Here's the next problem we got to do. We want to solve the equation for all values of x by completing the square. All right, so this one looks a little bit different, so pay attention here. It's a little bit different of a process. All right, so we get x squared plus 12 equals negative 8x, right? It kind of looks like what we want to start the problem, but here's the deal. We need all the x's on this side, and we need the number on the right side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's just flip-flop them. I'm going to add 8x, subtract 12x, or just 12. So we get x squared plus 8x equals negative 12. All right, here's the process. Remember, same thing every time. Add c to both sides. Let's figure out what c is. C is going to be, we already know what c is going to be. We just did an 8 one. 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4. Oh, we didn't do this, actually. Okay, so let's do it. So 4 squared is what? 16? There we go. Oh, no, we just did one. I think the last one we just did. I'm losing my mind. Okay, let's power through here. So we know c is going to be 16. So we know we're going to get a binomial squared. Okay, what goes in my second slot? Well, your b divided by 2 does. It's going to be a positive 4. We did have this last one. I'm not losing my mind. Okay, so remember, change your plus c's if it helps you. Change it into what actually c is. Okay, so we have negative 12 plus 16 is going to give me positive 4. Okay, are we done? Nope. Almost. We're close. We need to solve, right? So I need to isolate x. So in order to break out this x plus 4, I need to square root both sides. That gets rid of the squared. We have x plus 4 equals, what's the square root of 4? Plus or minus 12. Yep, you got it. Jimmy, in the back of the class, plus or minus, not 12, what did I say, 2? Oh, jeez. I'm losing it. Okay, plus or minus 2. Square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. So we want to subtract 4 from both sides. We get x equals negative 4 plus or minus 2. Don't be lazy like I was. Put in both solutions. We get negative 4 plus 2, which is what? Negative 4 plus 2 is going to be negative 2. And then we get negative 4 minus 2 is going to be negative 6. Woo! Here we go. I'm sorry if that was loud. RIP to your ears. All right, let's go over. Let's go back over to OneNote. All right, here we go. So remember, here's how you put these in. You put in negative 2 in first, or negative 6. It doesn't matter. Comma. Negative 6. Please tell me I did it right. All right, sweet. I did it right. Okay, awesome. So I just went through the whole DeltaMath review guide with you guys. Okay, so whether you're watching this or not, I really hope you guys do, because I mean, that took me what? I don't even know how long this video is going to be. 40 minutes or so? 30 minutes? Okay, I took my time to make this for you because I think it will help you guys. And once again, remember, I did it like I was you guys. I had no idea what the problem was going to be. They were all random. They're random for everybody. That's why I like DeltaMath. Okay, I sat down. You guys saw where I messed up. So in the back of your brains, be like, okay, I don't want to do that step that he messed up, because if he messed it up, I'm probably going to mess it up. Okay, pay attention to how I put it in to DeltaMath as far as actually entering it, like with the commas between your answers. And that's it. Okay, once again, reminder, your test is going to be opening at Monday at 8 a.m., going to be due 11:59 on Tuesday. Do not do it on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Don't. You're going to get a very passive-aggressive email back from me or Schoology message. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? All right, look me in the eyeballs. Promise you won't do it at 11. I promise. Cool. Awesome. All right, I'm out. Peace. I'm tired. Football time. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.